You could potentially call him the king of LinkedIn. We're going to get into how he bootstrapped his company to $22 million of revenue at retention.com, and then most recently launched a new product for B2B called R B2B, which he's grown from nothing, no MRR, right, in the beginning of this year, to he's now adding, not growth to, but he's adding 60,000 of new MRR per month on average for the past 3 months. Please tell me, welcome to the stage, Adam Robinson. Thanks for being here, man. Are you pumped?
I'm very pumped.
Did I screw up the intro at all? Those are the right metrics, right?
Perfect.
All right, make yourself comfortable. Make yourself comfortable. Let's jump in. So you weren't always a B2B guy, right? Retention.com launched in what year?
Retention.com, so it was called Get Emails.
Okay.
November of 2019 was when we launched it.
2019.
Yeah.
And you had a conversion event where you converted to B2B, which we'll jump into. But just to set up the next 20 minutes, I got Adam to give me his P&L. So we're going to jump into his profit and loss statement from January 2024 this year. The next 5 or 6 minutes after that, we'll talk about lawsuit marketing on LinkedIn. I made that up. Is that nice?
That's a beautiful term.
I think it's good. We can't make it more aggressive. Has there been a counterclaim? Has there been any?
I wish. Unfortunately,
we'll see.
They won't do it.
All right. So we'll get into that. And then I always look for just who is beating the market. When you look at free to paid, can you guys just think, I'm going to ask you to answer this. Think about what you guys would consider. Wes, let me ask you, Wes, what's a good free to paid conversion rate, so freemium to paid conversion rate on average? 3 to 5%, right? That's probably what you guys are seeing, right? A good conversion from trial to paid, free to paid is about 3 to 5%. How the hell is this guy getting a 10% conversion rate from free to paid? We're going to jump into it. All right? Give him a round of applause again if you're excited for those 3 bullet points. All right? It's going to be good. Let's jump into the P&L first, right? P&L first. So this is from 2023, where you learned a bunch of lessons. Why did you go so aggressive, and then what did you learn and pull back?
So really the reason I went so aggressive is because I was sharing an office with Dave Roger and the Jasper AI team, and for 2 years before they started that company, and we were all stuck at like 2-3 million ARR. They were out of money. They created they're literally their final step up to the plate. They're just like, this is it. We're going to try one more thing. 0 to 50 million ARR with like an island of 6 people in 12 months. And then they went and raised a bunch of money and they hired a bunch of people. And the craziest thing, when you're sitting on the other side of an office from somebody who is stuck in the exact same place, you're like, well, I can do that too. Mm-hmm. So I tried to do it too. Thank God I didn't raise money.
So just to be clear, when you scaled from 6 to 50, you didn't raise, you just used your own profits.
Yeah, we were 12 million ARR with 6 people, and I basically just took all the free cash and put it into trying to create what I viewed as like the unicorn company, and like honed it in an ICP, thinking it was going to like completely solve this churn problem. Long story short, a lot changed in 2023 for a lot of people, me included. Our company included, and the churn problem did not really get solved.
6 employees, 12 million of revenue. Do the math. That's 2 million of revenue per employee.
I'd highly recommend doing that if you can.
Yeah,
by the way.
But the reason I wanted you on stage, why do we feel so insecure about all the other ones raising and think we need to go play that game when we're crushing it?
It's human psychology.
Weird.
It is a strange thing. I thought I really lost my religion during this period, and I feel like I've gained it again. But I wouldn't be surprised if I lose it again.
Let's talk about.
There's so much pressure to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's from all angles.
Yeah. I think FounderPath might launch a service where we'll say FounderPath invested $1, or FounderPath invested in the retention Series A at $1 billion valuation, and it'll just be for $1, and it'll be for 0.001 shares, but it gives you the headline you want to go put out into the world. But
I don't even know it's headline. I think it's just like it's everything, man. What do you mean you only have 6 employees? Oh, yeah, it's a cute company.
Yep.
You know, it's just everything. And like, I don't know, it just takes a lot for your ego to withstand everything that's trying to make you a bigger vanity metric company.
I feel this all the time. I'm a metrics guy. How many of you guys have felt slightly potentially insecure about metrics in the past? You're like, I need a bigger team. I need to raise more. I need to hire. It's rare. It's honest. We can be honest in here. It's how it works. So here are the lessons he learned when he lost his religion. Let's move forward now to where you found the religion again. So break down your P&L here in January 2024.
Yeah, it was a little while ago, but we're making a lot of money, profit.
This is nice.
Which when you find your religion is what you're happy about ultimately.
What made this so efficient? I mean, when you look at the gross margin of 87%, even that is above most SaaS companies at 75, 80%. And then the bottom line, you're taking a run rate of $6 million of net income home annually.
Well, we're a data company, so the margins I think are typically better than SaaS as you keep scaling. You know, you kind of have this like wonderful quality where you compile a lot of data at SaaS margins, and then you don't really have to increase the spend on that data if you do it the right way and you kind of make the cost fixed. So that's why the COGS is so good.
What was the G&A? Break that down. $346,000 on G&A in January. What was that? General
Probably just like executive salaries and
Okay.
like, you know, stuff like that.
Okay. How many executives do you have on that?
6
Okay.
that are probably in there.
Okay. And this is all, just to be clear, this is retention.com, no R B2B yet.
The R B2B was still very much an idea. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing.
All right, so let's keep fast forwarding, getting into, I call it lawsuit marketing, and really it's a bigger question about transparency and telling authentic stories, even in public forums. So I imagine, you know, you get this cease and desist that everyone sees on the right from, well, you tell the story. Who'd you get the cease and desist from?
So just 2023 was hard for retention.com. The e-commerce space in general was going through a difficult time. I thought we were going to get revenue expansion. We were getting a ton of contraction and like cancellation and stuff. And these guys, we were using their tool to sort of compare it to what R B2B might be. And these guys come in and they're like, it's 6 months before the contract expires. They're like, we're going to triple your price and hang up the phone. And it's just, I was so upset about that. Like just being beaten down to nothing, right, from this market we serve. So I was like, you know what, fuck these guys. Like, and I kind of just put this shit post out that sort of described what they did. And then I think just as an old playbook, if somebody does something like that to you, you send them a cease and desist and they apologize, they say whatever, but like, we're kind of living in a different world today. And I have a different view about this stuff. I mean, I just immediately saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, my lawyer will let me post this. This is the single greatest PR opportunity for a company that is 3 weeks old that has ever existed in the history of the world. Because I'll go from a LinkedIn guy to every single 6th Sense customer knowing exactly what we do at R B2B.
Yeah, but you had to have this conflict in your head of marketing Adam and risk mitigation Adam. The risk mitigation part, you rely on your lawyer. No good lawyer would ever say yes to you doing this. You did it anyway.
So he said, basically, I'm like, what is the maximum penalty, right? And he's like, well, I mean, all this is nonsense. But like, if they sue you, which they can, maybe you're in court and you pay a few $100 grand, $300 or $400 over like 3 years or something. And that takes a long time.
And your thought was worth it.
Totally. I mean, without a doubt.
There you go.
And he's like, the lawyer is funny. He's like, I would never do this or recommend it, but I understand the method to your madness.
Yeah.
You know?
It's that a lot of people talk about, I want to be a founder-led brand and I want to sort of tell the stories, but then it all goes through a PR machine and you end up with fluffy crap at the end that no one can resonate with. Raise your hand in here if you've ever received a cease and desist anytime in your life for anything. Raise your hand high. Okay, you can relate to this. You're all laughing because the things he's saying is the same things you felt when this hit your inbox. And that's what makes it relatable. And a little part of you is now like, you know what? Maybe I should go try R B2B. Right? That's sort of right. That's sort of how it goes. How do you convert that? And you guys can see the engagement right over. How many? Do you know impressions? Do you have it memorized?
Oh man, it was like several hundred thousand.
Okay, so 1,600 likes, right? Engagements, 913 comments, hundreds of thousands of impressions. How do you turn this kind of marketing to cold, hard Airbnb, ARR, cash?
So that post was incredible. You know, I think that strangely, like the reason, if you look at my stuff, hardly any of it is sales content. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe 1 out of every 10 posts, I'll put some like hard CTA at the bottom of it. But I don't know why, but like just putting this stuff out, and I do understand what I write, who the audience is that it's activating, so to speak,
yep.
and try to keep a good mix there. But like, I think most of the magic is just this visit my website link. You know, they see me writing interesting stuff. They see me telling this like unbelievably, brutally, honestly, transparent, you know, stuff about the journey. And they're just like, what's this guy do?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, and then they keep seeing posts. I'm sure after you click that visit my website, LinkedIn in the algorithm keeps serving you more of the stuff. So I can't say that I know why I'm doing it, but like it's just working so well that I like continue to do that. And I do think that it's the way of the future. It's like, people don't want to be sold to on social media. I really don't think so. I think the beauty of organic content is that you are bringing people along on this journey, and like you are building community around these ideas, and you are forming relationships with people through commenting. And that just, the reach is so large, and the audience keeps growing, and that begets website traffic that converts.
Let's pause there for a second. How many of you, or what would you guys be willing to pay for, let's make the math easy, 1,000 leads into your business, right? So they're signing up for a lead, it's a lead, it's a qualified lead, marketing qualified lead, they're doing a demo. Just in general, what are you willing to pay for a lead? It might be $10, it might be $1,000, just on a count of 3, yell out what you're willing to pay for a lead. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I heard like 100, 1,000, 5,000, like there's a big range. Most of us, when we're willing to pay this amount for leads, we think we need to have like the beautiful tech stack and tracking has to be perfected and let's test it a bunch of times and all this. When he talks about converting on LinkedIn, this is it. Okay, it's a free tool. It's a Google form link. You drop it in, you rock and roll, and there's 1,600 leads here.
That was pre-launch, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the start of R B2B.
Totally. 1,000%.
This is the launch.
Yeah, that close to that post dropped 3 or 4 times, and it literally generated.
You can see the proof, 1,600, 1,630.
And hundreds of discovery conversations, too. Yeah. That was the most incredible part of it. It's like, I'm such a student of 4 Steps to the Epiphany, and that guy's saying like, oh, cold call 50 people a week. Like Santosh and I were getting on the phone with like 10 people a day between the two of us for like 6 months. So we really had a good idea of what we wanted to deliver at launch. It was amazing.
So TLDR here, again, a lot of people would be like, let's do a product hunt launch and see what happens back in the day. It's like, look, you can get more leads and more opportunities to communicate with customers doing and following this kind of storytelling on LinkedIn with strategy, simple call to action, drop in a Google form, don't overcomplicate things, it's working for you. You got to get them in the funnel, right? You got to build sort of this conversion metrics. And as you were doing all this, as you were posting more B2B content, you were thinking a lot about sort of, look, I think LinkedIn should work like this. Here's what it actually should be. Maybe pick one thing on here that was the biggest surprise for you and go deep on it.
So the activation to me has been the biggest surprise. I mean, as Wes said, everybody that I speak to, they're like 35% script install is a dream, 3 to 5% paid conversion. And look, the churn's kind of a disaster. We need to solve that somehow. But
how bad is it?
Like 10% a month.
Okay.
We just had an agency like cancel 80 accounts and put them under one account, so it looks like it's even worse than 10% a month. But like it's like a 9-month LTV.
Yeah.
Santosh is not worried about this. He's like, we can do, we can have tangential products that other people in other departments use, and it's still super early, but it's very bad. But the activation and the free to paid conversion is so far beyond what I had expected, and I believe that it's that way because the content is targeting such a tight audience of the right people on LinkedIn, and it's just leading to that,
Should we look at the funnel really quick, conversion metrics? Nobody wants to see conversion metrics.
Nobody wants to see metrics.
No, he's like, yes. Okay, yeah, look, these are the metrics, right? These are the metrics, pretty cool. August 8th to September 6th, this is just till yesterday, basically, right? You can see 3,000 new trials, almost a 10% conversion rate to new customers. What does your paywall look like? How are you doing this?
It's just like a credit-based system.
You guys hear that? He didn't say it's SaaS. There's not a pricing page with monthly recurring fees. It's like pure usage-based, tied to a bucket of credits.
It's not transactional. Yeah, exactly.
The bucket of credits.
Yeah, it's charging a SaaS for leads, which is part of the reason why it's high churn.
So give me an example of like, if I want to buy 100 credits from R B2B, what would that cost and what am I getting for that?
So the freemium offer is 200 leads per month, and it's like the LinkedIn URL into a Slack channel. And then for integrations and email and everything else, it starts at $99 a month for that. And then sort of, if you want 1,000, it's maybe like $300 a month. We get an average of, this is not on there, average of 270 per month.
270 per month is the average new customer.
Yep.
And are you doing any I guess actually, let's just keep working on this for a second. There's 100 expansions there as well. Is that just people saying, this is amazing, I want more leads, so give me a big credit?
I would describe that expansion as right sizing. And that churn number is terrible, but again, that includes like 40 accounts that this guy canceled.
Yep. Well, I mean, you can see the total revenue growth in the upper right.
I mean, the problem is if you double that, then there's not,
Well, why is it, I mean, Santosh has experience here. He was high up at Apollo. He was high up at ZoomInfo before you recruited him. Why is he not concerned about a 9-month lifetime value and high churn?
We're so young. So Nathan Barry has a public barometrics dashboard just like this for ConvertKit. If you go back to when he was at these revenue levels, his churn rate was 10%. The next year he was at 10 million ARR, it was 8%. Yep. Now he's like down to 3. I'm never going to get there unless I add a system of record type product to this.
Is that the next step?
I think other products first. I don't know what the system of record would be. So I talked to the Clearbit team, the Clearbit Reveal team. They said churn was a disaster for that product, and the only thing they could do to lower churn was get other people using other products in other departments.
Okay.
Because it just becomes more difficult.
So what are you building right now that you haven't announced yet?
I mean, I don't know. We need to I think we need to get salespeople using something. Like this is a marketer, tool. So it's something related to sales. No near term. Like
you buy it or will you buy it or build it? You have plenty of cash.
Build it.
You'll build it. Okay. That was a quick answer.
I'm so scared of buying stuff.
Who else is scared of the
to you.
Who else is scared of the M&A process? You don't want to go buy so much work, integrations. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm scared of that.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Anyone curious about anything else on this in terms of the funnel? We talked about top of funnel. We talked about conversion to new customers. We talked about expansion and churn. Let's go back here just to get our bearings again. This is retention.com. So you see revenue is slightly decreasing here.
It's going up again, by the way. That was Q1 24.
Okay, so what do you got now at retention?
23.8.
And is this green bar inclusive of the growth of R B2B?
That, R B2B wasn't around yet because that was
Q1 24. Like, are you adding on that Q1 2024 the R B2B revenue on top?
So R B2B launched March 1st. So that didn't have any R B2B revenue.
Oh, I see.
So if you were to put Q2 and Q3 in, it actually, retention.com really hasn't grown. If you stack R B2B on top of it, then it's growing again.
I see.
Which maybe that's my future.
So what do you do? Do you shut down, or how do you get your team excited about working on retention.com, which is clearly a less exciting product than R B2B?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's making $11 million of profit this year, so it's exciting for the founders. The weird thing about human psychology is that even if something is making you $11 million, if it's not growing, the thing that's growing from 1 to 2 is more exciting. So I think I've been having that conversation with everybody on the team that I can, and sort of saying look, it's the fuel behind everything we're doing. We continue to launch more products. This is a tremendously important business. It's 85% of our revenue. It's 120% of our profit right now. It's just what we should care about. It's just when anyone talks about something that's 0 to 1 or 1 to 2, for some reason it's more exciting. It's like a baby is more exciting than, I don't know, an 80-year-old.
Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully no one's 80 in here. But you can see here, though, just to back up these numbers, again, May, there's only 5K of MRR, right? And you can see today now 200K of MRR. And you can see the green table below how much new MRR added per month, on average 60K per month. In fact, it's only September 6th. You've already added 10,000 of new MRR in September so far. I pulled this screenshot last night. So my big questions when I see patterns like this, just founders in general, but when I'm not with you and I'm thinking, what's Adam gonna do? But I'll say it to your face now, is okay, churn's really high, he's got a rocket ship, really strong marketer, Russell Brunson-esque. Can he convert that attention into sticky revenue that keeps printing money?
I hope so.
Yes. Yes.
I certainly hope he was able to, by the way. He was able to grow that business, which was not that dissimilar from Lead Pages, to several hundred million. Lead Pages, because of churn, stalled out at 17. So I'm hoping that I can use some of his sort of tactics of content, courses, community, something like that, and maybe monetize some of the free users that we're just marketing for us right now into actually paid and lower churn than the product itself.
Hey guys, there you have it again. 12 million bucks of revenue with 6 employees, 2 million of revenue per employee. Then said, you know what? These Jasper guys are great. I'm a little jealous. Let me try it. He tries it.
Stay at 12 million and 6 employees.
And profits.
It's not worth it.
He doesn't like that. He goes back to being disciplined, launches a brand new product using controversial marketing tactics on LinkedIn that are working very, very well. The question now is, can he take this sort of explosive momentum and keep it going into additional product lines, selling to additional personas, keep the profits there? Guys, give it up for Adam Robinson at R B2B.
Thank you. Thanks, Nathan.
Enjoy that?
Yeah.
Good.
Great.
Good.
Great interview.
Thanks, man.